Good evening. We're going to continue on here with part 4 on the section covering with Dmso. As I was saying though, basically, what the Rockefeller family did was they passed a law that only a drug can cure a disease. So if I say, here, take your vitamins so you don't get sick, or if I said it would cure you of a disease, I'm breaking the law and I can go to jail and be arrested for that. Okay? But yet, when people were getting the Lyme disease, back on the ships, they were cured simply by vitamin C. It was just a lack of vitamin C. Rickets, I believe, is a vitamin B deficiency. And all you need is get vitamin B in your diet, and all of a sudden, you're cured of rickets. So, um, you know, one of the major problems that Americans have all over the world is a lack of vitamins or minerals that's needed in our daily diet. And as long as we were to get those things, and we weren't deficient in those areas, we would be healthy and we wouldn't have a lot of the problems that we have today. In fact, they say today 80% of all illnesses are self-induced. One statistic I just read not too long ago was, in I should just get it, but I believe it was in the 1800s. There was only like 1 in 100,000, 1 out of every 100,000 people were diabetic. Do you know that today diabetes is something like, I believe, 1 out of 10 people? 1 out of 10 people are diabetic today. Now, what in the world has changed in the last 100, 150 years that we go from 1 in 100,000 or 1 in 150,000 to 1 out of 10 people? That's utterly insane. In the 1800s, 1900s, you didn't hear about cancer, and yet cancer is rampant today. Now they're saying 40 to 50% of every American will get cancer at some point in their life. What are we doing? How are we eating? What's in our food? Those are things that you need to think about. And again, I give you this information. Many people laugh at you, mock you, ridicule you. But you know what? I've taken the time. I've read books. I've studied. Um, I've educated myself. I've read both sides of the argument. I've heard what the pro and the con. I've heard them, and I've read them, and then I've made an educated decision. Unfortunately, out there, most people want you to be indoctrinated and not hear both sides of the argument, so you can make an educated decision yourself to determine truth. So anyhow, that's the reason why they say this is not intended to treat or cure disease, is because they passed a law that it's illegal to do so. But why do I take my vitamins? Why do you go to the vitamin shop or vitamin cottage or go to these various places to take your vitamins? Because you don't want to be sick, you want to be healthy, and you don't want to become diabetic or get cancer or have health problems. That's why we take our vitamins. But yet I have to, by law, to protect myself, say this is not intended to treat or cure a disease. Which in essence, is that true? I mean, why do we take our vitamins? But anyhow, numerous people will tell you that Dmso is absolutely amazing stuff. And I might read to you here just a few sections in here. Give you a little bit of information on what Dmso really is. First of all, like I said, it's dimethyl sulfoxide. It's a simple byproduct of wood. It has been called the miracle drug, capable of relieving pain, diminishing swelling, reducing inflammation, encouraging healing, and restoring normal function. In Dr. Morton Walker's book, he shows a powerful and compelling case for the use of Dmso in the treatment of many debilitating diseases and health-related problems. In there, I'll give you some of the, properties. Some of the properties of Dmso can be, number one, it reduces pain and swelling. It acts as an antioxidant. It forms a water molecule in the body, which is easily excreted. Acts as a free radical scavenger. Reduces arthritic pain and swelling. Helps carpal tunnel. It's also used for cystitis. It's used for brain and spinal cord injuries in Europe. The biggest drawback is the odor, which can be greatly diminished with aloe vera and rose scent added. It's used for insect bites, acne, uritis, neuralgia, and shingles. Um, it's a small molecule with an amazing chemical, biological, and physical characteristics which has not received the coverage it is due. Dmso is the resulting byproduct from the manufacturing of pulp and paper, and it has been in use for over 40 years. I could go into quite a few different things. Let me give you like this one testimonial here of Elgin Baylor and Jerry Lucas used it on their knees when they played in the NBA. Daryl LaMonica, former quarterback for the Oakland Raiders, wrote this to the Val Halaminderis Council to the Commission on Aging of the House of Representatives on April 2nd, 1980, from Walnut Creek, California. This is what he had to say. I am writing to express my feelings regarding my experience with Dmso. As a former professional athlete, I had an opportunity to use it because of injuries. The first time was on a jammed thumb on my throwing hand. The swelling was so severe I could not bend it. Dmso was applied, and much to my surprise, the swelling started to leave within minutes. Although my skin blistered momentarily, within 3 days I was throwing the football hard again and was able to compete successfully the following Sunday afternoon. I feel this would not have been possible without the benefit of this unusual drug. And I could go on and on. I could give you numerous testimonies of one after another after another. There's literally, it's been tested on over 100,000 people, hundreds of thousands of people over the past 40, 50 years. So, just a little bit of information there about